Hey guys, I'm Volen and today is the first day of the Advent of Code period challenge. Advent of Code is something that happens every year. Day one, because I live in Japan, it's a little bit slower. I had to wait until the afternoon, late afternoon, before I was able to do this. So let's start. I have not taken a look yet, so I have no idea what it is. Most of the time, this whole series is like kind of like a story that follows up on each other. So for the tools that I will use to do these coding challenges, I will be using Godot. So day one, Historian Hysteria. The chief historian is always present for the big Christmas sleigh launch, but nobody has seen him in months. Last anyone heard, he was visiting locations that are historically significant to the North Pole. A group of senior historians has asked you to accompany them as they check the places they think he was most likely to visit. As each location is checked, they will mark it on their list with a star. They figure the chief historian must be in one of the first 50 places. They look, so in order to save Christmas, you need to help them get 50 stars on their list before Santa takes off on December 25th. Collect stars by solving puzzles. 2 puzzles will be made available on each day in the Advent calendar. The second puzzle is unlocked when you complete the first. Each puzzle grants 1 star. Good luck. You haven't even left yet and the group of elvish senior historians has already hit a problem. Their list of locations to check is currently empty. Eventually, someone decides that the best place to check first will be the chief historian's office. So, of what I've understand so far, there are going to be 2 puzzles every single day. I thought it would only be 1, but let's see how it goes. Upon pouring into the office, everyone confirms that the chief historian is indeed nowhere to be found. Instead, the elves discover an assortment of notes and lists of historically significant locations. This seems to be the planning the chief historian was doing before he left. Perhaps these notes can be used to determine which locations to search. Throughout the chief's office, the historically significant locations are listed not by name, but by a unique number called the location ID. To make sure they don't miss anything, the historians split into 2 groups, each searching the office and trying to create their own complete list of location IDs. There's just one problem. By holding 2 lists up side by side, your puzzle input, it quickly becomes clear that the lists aren't very similar. Maybe you can help the historians reconcile their list. For example, 344325133933. Okay. Maybe the lists are only off by a small amount. To find out, pair up the numbers and measure how far apart they are. Pair up the smallest number in the left list with the smallest number in the right list, then the second smallest left number with the second smallest right number, and so on. Within each pair, figure out how far apart the 2 numbers are. You'll need to add up all of these distances. For example, if you pair up a 3 from the left list within a 7 from the right lists, the distance apart is 4. If you pair up 9 with a 3, the distance apart is 6. In the example list above, the pairs and distances would be as follows. The smallest number in the left list is 1 and the smallest number in the right list is 3. The distance between them is 2 and so on and so on. So basically we need to take the 2 lists, rearrange them that the smallest number starts first and it goes to the bigger number afterwards, and then just get the distance in between them. Basically do minus. Finally, So to find the total distance between the left list and the right list, add up the distances between all of the pairs you found. In the example above, this is 2 plus 1 plus 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 5, a total distance of 11. Your actual left and right lists contain many location IDs. What is the total distance between your lists? To play, please identify yourself with one of these following services. Okay, I'll go for GitHub. Okay, so I'll just use my username Voilen and my GitHub URL. Please give it a visit. Okay, so get your puzzle in. Oh, wow. Can I just do Control A? Okay, Control A, Control C. And then here, I'll go into the folder. I already created an empty project. I'll create day by day. So Control S, I'll create a new folder, 01. That will be for day 1, day 01. Voila. Problem solved with naming stuff. In this, I will need a script, day 1. And here, my tool of choice, Neovim. We don't need the ready function, and we don't need the process function, only the ready function. And we will need to create a new file with the data. So data.txt, and in here we just paste. So let's first check if all the data is actually correct. So there are 1000 entries. Yeah, there's no empty spaces. And these are 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 spaces in between every single entry. So, and no, they don't enter the space. So 3 spaces in between. Let's first start with creating the left list and the right list. So we go into our file here, and just to make certain, I'll add them to my harpoon so I can easily switch between the two. These are all going to be packed int arrays. So we will have a var left list, which is a packed int array, and let's create that as 0. Over here we have the right list, var l file. We first need to create a file access, file access dot open, and we just select the data.txt, file access dot read. We only need read access, and just to make certain that I get the actual data, l file dot get as text. And let's quickly run this. We will need to select the current scene. Get as text on a null value, so we don't get the data correctly, so we'll probably need to enter the full path. So 01. Hey, why did it change? When you work with another editor, you always need to go into debug and debug with external editor, because else your script will keep changing to the previous one. Problem with Godot. Okay, so we do get all the data. So now we need to, well, we don't are at the lfile.eof, so end of file reads. While we have not reached the end of the file, we go through every single line. So var l line, let's create a new thing here, and this needs to be a string, or we can do a packed int array, and we take l file dot get line dot split. I think we should, this will probably be need to be a packed string, because it's still a string. It does not know that they're numbers, and else Godot will complain. So we split on space, 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 because there are 3 spaces in the file, and then left list dot append l line 0, and we do the same for right lists, and we take the second value. And of course we need to change this with an integer. Normally this should not give any errors. So let's quickly check if it does. Out of bounds. Is it because I was at the end? I think, yeah, I was at the end, that's why. Yeah, we are basically at the end of the line. So what we should do, we can put this one here. Put this one here. Remove this. And we just keep getting the line, and normally it will reach end of file before it gives an error. Yep. So we have all the data now. Now we need to order the data. So left list dot sort. Normally that should be it. And right list. And just to be certain, let's quickly print the left list. So it looks like everything sorts correctly, except for this, I think. No. Okay, so we're lucky. All the numbers are exactly the same size. Now, what do we need to do? So we sorted all by smaller, so now we just need to compare each 2 of them. So var total, it's an integer, and we start by 0. So now for li integer in left list, this will not work. So we need to get the size. So we can go left lists and then li. And then, oh, right list. That was unexpected. Right list. And we just add everything to total. So total is left list minus right list. And I think we need to not have a negative number because we need to get like the highest number of them. We will need apps. Returns the absolute value of an int parameter. So normally this should work. And then we just print total. Let's see if that works. So we have 213. Now, do we submit this or do we first quickly check if it's actually correct? Because for 1000 entries, only having a difference of 213, that seems kind of little. I feel like I did something wrong, so whoops. Let's quickly print to see if I actually use the correct function. Oh, wait, yeah, no. I did use the wrong thing. So it is the positive number, but we need to add it. So problem solved. Let's quickly run this. So this is the complete number. Luckily I checked because else I would have failed my first challenge, I think. So the total distance between the left and list and right list. Add up the distance between all of the pairs you found in the example above. Yeah, okay, so let's see. I don't know if everybody gets like a different puzzle input. Let's hope. That's the right answer. You are 1 gold star closer to finding the chief historian. Okay, part 2. Your analysis only confirmed what everyone feared. The two lists of location IDs are indeed very different. Or are they? The historians can't agree on which group made the mistake, or how to read most of the chief's handwriting. But in the commotion, you notice an interesting detail. A lot of location IDs appear in both lists. Oh crap. I see where this is going. Maybe the other numbers aren't location IDs at all, but rather misinterpreted handwriting. This time you'll need to figure out exactly how often each number from the left list appears in the right list. Calculate a total similarity score by adding up each number in the left list after multiplying it by the number of times that number appears in the right list. Oh wow. So calculate a total similarity score by adding up each number in the left list after multiplying it by the number of times the number appears in the right. It's already evening for me. My brain does not work. Here are the same example lists again. So for these example lists, here is the process of finding the similarity score. The first, oh wait, so I use the same data that I have right now. So this is what I need to use. Okay, so the first number in the left list is 3. It appears on the in the right list 3 times. So the similarity score increases by 3. Okay, I see what we need to do. But first, func part 1, let's create a little bit more order inside of here. Over here, we'll have it part 2. And in here, func part 2, it's a void, it returns void. Let's quickly put the pass here. And then here, I'll quickly add 1 result. And over here, part 2 results. I kind of like to use the local thing, so I guess for this it's fine. Like we don't really have any like other variables, so let's just remove all the L for now. Okay, and a little bit of cleaning up later. We have this, and this is a integer, and that's 0. I think we just need to do the exact same thing like over here. So we open the file and we got the line and we got the data. We don't really need to sort anything this time, so that will save a little bit of time. Well, processing power, I don't think, like, we could try to optimize this as much as we can, but I don't think there's a need to like really optimize everything. So total, I will do it for occurrence. I don't know how to spell this word, so it will be times int 0. So we got 2 lists. Now we need to basically go through every number in the left list. So for I int in left list, and exactly the same, we go to the size. First we need to set times back to 0. And then for x int in left list dot size, they're basically the same size, so it does not really matter which list we take for the size. If left lists I is the same as right lists x times plus 1. Oh. So then we add 1. And at the end we need to take total plus equals left lists I, and we do this times. So I think this should work, but just in case, like just as a small test, let's quickly take these numbers here. Let's create a test data.txt. Let's just add these things here so we can just quickly test to see if it's actually correct or not. And then here file test data. So now this should print 31 and the total score is 31. So our code probably works. It's probably not the most efficient because of all the like while loops, for loops. Let's run it again. So the result is way too big for me to even bother to read that out and submit. And that's the right answer. You are 1 gold star closer to finding the chief historian. You have completed day 1 and you can share this victory or return to your advent calendar. So I got 2 stars and I finished day 1. I kind of like this, and this year I will do it in Godot just because I mainly work in Godot. But next year I would kind of like to take another language and try to make it into that advent of code. Try to do it yourself and try to find out like different ways to do it. Try to find more performance ways. I'm not certain how I could make this more performance. I think it's already quite simple. There are probably ways to make it more performant, but I can't think of anything right now. I will make it into a GitHub repository eventually, so people can like see my all my overall tests. But yeah, that's it for me today. A big thank you to all my COVID supporters. Yeah, I still have not been able to make the actual end screen. Accidentally deleted the data, but yeah, here you are. Thanks everybody for supporting me, and I'll see you all basically tomorrow during the next Advent of Code Day. So thanks for watching and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.